good day, my friends. This is Bob from Fast and Furious. Happy New Year's. We finally put the most significant, unexpected, disastrous year behind us, 2020. 2020 has left us with a lot of lessons, I'd say. Basically, the biggest lesson that actually should go down, we should imbibe is to be minimalist. We need this earth to survive, and the only way we can get this earth to survive is if we become minimalist again. However, unfortunately, the other downside of this thing is this crazy bubble that's forming in the stock market, which is all that it's done, has given a false bravado about the economy and actually created a huger and a greater disparity of wealth between the rich and the poor. Because the people who've been hammered are the middle class. While we think 2021 and we hope 2021 with the vaccines coming will be a better year, but there is a lot to be done and a lot of running forward to be done to actually stay in the same place. And that's the challenge we are facing now. However, India continues to go through its twist with the farmers, on again, off again. There is some silver lining or a twinkle of a hope that some things will move forward. But what do the Kisan Netas say? Government PR exercise, increasing trust deficit, says Kisan Netas, that's for sure. Then you have barricades broken, police fire tear gas. Now this is again being done by the Haryana government. They have not learned their lesson. Okay, but this time it's being done on the Jaipur-Haryana border, which means the Rajasthani farmer and the Haryana farmer are being targeted, and maybe the farmers that were coming in from Maharashtra are being stopped. So the government is playing a really dubious and a double game, right? But I'm glad to report, as I said the other day, Brigadier Usman's grave was lying in absolute disrepair. That's a shame on the country and on the armed forces. But however, Army restores war heroes' damaged grave. That's a great thought process. This is the other thing, shining. India's democracy and freedom fighters shining. And here, what do we have? Gal Gadot honors Shaheen Bagh Didi. So the lady who is my Wonder Woman of the year has called her, this old woman who we are trying to put in jail and blame her for the riots, is actually being celebrated as a global Wonder Woman. And that's what she should be celebrated. She took on the authorities. That's something for all of us to think about. But look at it. The party with a difference is actually now a party that is the difference, right? Turncoat Suvendu may get cabinet rank post, folks. Poor BJP guys, right? The original workers, they are being thrown to the dogs, they are being left in disrepair, and all these turncoats, just imagine, are taking away all the cream. These guys are being left with the shah. Eventually, they will be held to pay for the party, I can tell you that, right? What do we have here? This is good news, and this is exactly why Atmanirbhar actually is more dependent on foreign investment and MNCs than trying to narrowly define it, as a lot of people do, to Indian companies. Indian companies being defined as Indian promoters. And Indian promoters historically essentially have raped this country. Let's face that, folks, right? But it says Suzuki, Hyundai chart plans to make India an export hub. If we keep improving and our ease of doing business, this is what's going to happen. Cars, telephones, computers, everything else. But as Trump leaves, he's leaving a trail of hard choices that are going to have to be made by Biden. Now, US warships transit Taiwan Strait. China denounces provocation. Yes, way to go, Trump. Some things he does right, bro. What is the other good news for India? At 25 billion, India draws record FDI in September quarter. Now, a lot of this is linked to the PLI, which is good because it's bringing in assembly and manufacturing of mobile phones. But a lot of it is also obviously not greenfield projects. It's basically just selling existing assets, which is okay. But it's putting a lot of pressure on our rupee, which is bad for exports, right? And here it diversifies. Say India among this year's 5 most preferred emerging markets. That's all well and good. But is it impacting the common man? Is the question for you. And shouldn't that be the focal point of our macroeconomics? Not this skyrocketing, delusional stock market, because here we have urban jobless rate rises to 9.1% in Jan March from 7.9% in December, and this, folks, is what matters. Cheers.